G'day everyone, welcome to the first developer update for the Gangs of Metacadia strategy game that we are currently building. So, Gangs of Metacadia is a strategy game based in the city of Metacadia, and that comes along with its own universe of wonderful gangs and characters. We have 5 gangs, that's the Neon Syndicate, the Iron Shadows, the Digital Drifters, the Chrome Serpents, and the Sewer Rats. So, the first 4 are essentially gangs that live in certain quarters of the city. We have the finance quarter, the media quarter, the entertainment quarter, and the builders quarter. And the sewer rats kind of live in the sewer, as the name implies. They're all rival gangs, right? They're all vying for attention over the city. The political powers in place. They're really trying to increase their influence and their status in the city, and they'll go to sort of any means to be able to do that. So the city really is a place with many different parts to it, right? And in this game, you'll be able to sort of travel to the different parts of the city and to be able to see what these gangs are up to at any point in time. Now, the way this game works is that players can essentially mint an insignia for the specific gang that they want to join. They can only join one gang, and they can essentially be part of the gang and the different activities that are enabled by becoming part of it as well. So how that works is a player will essentially join one, and then that will increase the holders for that specific gang, which in turn increases an influence modifier of that gang, and thus they become more powerful, right? So there's different ideas here, and there's many different concepts around game theory and the game logic itself that's being built. But we'll keep it simple for this first video here, and we'll just talk a little bit about the game and sort of the point of the game. But essentially, these 5 gangs will be going to war with each other, and they do this on a per season basis. So a season lasts for about 4 to 5 weeks or so, and that means that each gang will essentially have the opportunity to declare war against another gang, and that can be whichever gang they like. It can be a gang that's got a very high influence, a high holder count, one with lots of wealth. It can be one that they want to take out easily at the start, maybe because they're weaker. There's so much strategy when it comes to like gangs determining who they want to knock out of the season, and that's typically done by the gang leader. So in this case, you of course have these wonderful characters here, which you'll hear a lot more about as we develop the game further. But the way that this works is that the person who holds the most amount of the token that is used to mint the insignia becomes the gang leader. So you can actually get, overthrown as the gang leader of your own gang if someone enters the gang with a larger amount of tokens. And that person who is the leader gets to make exclusive decisions that only the gang leader can make. So a little bit about the game in general. It's not going to be a game where you run around. There's no WASD. Essentially, it's a strategy game, top-down city that you can look at, and you'll be able to sort of enter different buildings by clicking on them, and those different buildings do different things. So, for example, when you join a gang, you can go into a certain building to mint your insignia, right, to become part of it, and you can sort of see what number you were, and you can see how much it costs to mint at that specific time. There's going to be another building that's about influence. If I want to apply some influence to my own gang, I want to promote my own gang and get my influence score up, you can do that in the building. There's a lot of really interesting game theory mechanics being built into that concept. You can apply both positive and negative influence to a gang. It can be any gang, including your own. So you can even apply negative influence to your own gang from the inside. Or you can positively promote other gangs when you see that you might want to increase their power because they're in some sort of struggle with another gang and you want to back them. So there's a lot of elements around how influence will play into this. But what we're going to be building is a whole system that sort of takes these stats like influence, like wealth, like holder count, these sorts of things, and is able to build dynamic and novel storytelling elements, both in text and in audio. And those are going to be inbuilt into the game. So you're going to have all these, dramatic fight scenes or gangs being eliminated in both text and audio as well. And we're going to be using a custom model that we're building that encapsulates sort of everything about the game, the universe, the characters, and so on behind the scenes. So that's really exciting, really fun to build. And so, yeah, like a little bit about the game in general. Like I said, we're going to have seasons, and during those seasons, each gang will sort of, at some point be eliminated, and there'll be one gang standing at the end. When a gang eliminates another gang, they'll basically absorb the wealth of that gang, and at the end, the last gang standing will distribute the wealth that it has among the gang members. So not only is it a sort of fun strategy game where there's quite a lot of strategy involved and there's different buildings that we haven't even spoken about yet, but it makes it even more interesting as the investment into these gangs is actually, if the gang is eliminated, is passed to the gang that actually defeats them. So there's this element where there's a transfer of wealth between the defeated gang to the winning gang, and then that is shared at the end. So it means that there's an interesting reward mechanism in play. And that we think that will facilitate really good strategizing by different teams. And to enable this strategization, we have a chat feature built into the game. So you'll be able to chat with other team members, so other people within the same gang, and you'll also be able to chat on a global chat where other people in different gangs can see it. So we want to try and open up those channels of communication to get people talking and understanding what others are doing, whether that could be a misdirection or not. We'll also have like a live leaderboard so you can see the power and influence and wealth of the gangs in real time. So there won't be any way to sort of avoid that, but there'll be interesting ways to sort of communicate between the gangs. We're building the back end, the design. A lot of the app is sort of in an early stage development at the moment. We're super excited to show that in the coming weeks. But really, we've talked a little bit about the characters and sort of how it's going to work in the initial developer update, and we'll dive further into the finer details in the next update. Well, that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much.